happy? Never mind. Okay, so it's January 1st and you probably know what that means. It's time to figure out which 360 camera you should buy in 2019. I'm not going to go super in depth in this video because I've already made in-depth reviews of most of these cameras, but I do want to give you a rough idea of which cameras are the top players and which cameras you should forget about. I'm only going to cover 360 cameras under $1,000 in this video, and if there's a camera you have your eye on that you don't see here, there's a good chance I knocked it out in a previous video. Links to all of these cameras can be found down in the description, so without further ado, let's get into it. I want to start with the camera that everyone's talking about, and that is the Insta360 One X. And yes, I did just pull that out of my underpants. So I made a two-part review of the One X, which you've probably seen by now, and I basically declared this as the best 360 camera of 2018, which kind of makes it seem like the obvious choice as the best camera to buy in 2019, right? Well, just wait a minute. Firstly, I'll talk about the pros, and the first one is the design. This is one of the best designed 360 cameras I've ever seen. We've learned so much now about 360 camera design after point and shoot cameras have been prevalent for about 3 years. And you can tell that this camera has fixed all the mistakes of the past cameras. Things like having a removable battery, having an LCD screen, having a charging port that is easy to access, as well as the tripod mount and SD card slot being situated almost perfectly. If you added spatial audio mics and replaceable lenses to this camera, this would be the perfectly designed 360 camera. It's also light, slim, and pocketable. I can't stress how important this is from a 360 camera design. It's got to be small, compact, and easy to take around. On top of that, the 360 photos and videos it takes are really impressive. Most 360 cameras you think of as being good at just one thing, whether it be photos or videos, but the One X I can confidently say is excellent at both photos and videos. The dynamic range is really good, the sharpness and resolution is good, and the colors are the best we've seen yet from an Insta360 camera. Not only does it shoot 30 frames a second at 5.7K, but it shoots 100 frames a second at 3K. And this slow motion doesn't look jittery and simulated, it looks like legit slow motion. I haven't seen slow motion look this good from a 360 camera ever, unless you use a lot of After Effects plugins. Not only does it do slow motion well, but its hyperlapses are amazing. All you do is press the record button, walk for a few minutes, and you have yourself a cinematic masterpiece that you just made in 5 minutes. This effect is seriously addictive, and when you combine slow motion with hyperlapse, you have a video that is going to capture your audience's attention scrolling through that newsfeed 10 out of 10 times. Next is the workflow. The One X has the best all-around workflow for photos and videos of any 360 camera. The app is so well designed and easy to understand that you don't need a computer anymore to edit your footage. You can download your files, reframe and export in minutes, and I'm not talking about basic edits, I'm talking about properly edited and reframed 360 videos. The camera's app should be a big factor when choosing a 360 camera, and no question, Insta360 have the best. When coming up with flaws of this camera, it's really hard to think of them. If I go by what I've seen in some of the Facebook groups, the biggest issues people have had was firstly the audio. There were a few complaints about the audio not being very good. I disagree, but I've heard that quite a bit. Next is its compatibility with a lot of older devices, specifically Android has been the biggest one, and a few tablets. It seems like people are trying to use the One X with devices that are older than about 3 years, and that's just not going to cut it for 5.7K video. If you think about it, that's a massive file, and you're doing a lot when you're shooting, downloading, and editing 5.7K footage. So you will need a device that is of the last 2 years at least if you want to have any chance of using the One X. Do check out part 1 and 2 of my One X review before buying, but to give you a spoiler, yes, 1000% you should buy the One X. I feel like I almost need to change the title of this video to "Can anything beat the Insta360 One X?" I think you'll find that a few of these cameras do beat it at certain things. It's not the best all-around camera, but I do consider it the best camera for most things. This brings me to the previous two Insta360 cameras, the One and the Nano S. Should you buy these? No. I mean, look, just 6 months ago, these were two great options, and at $239 each, which is what they're at now, you should consider them if that's all you've got. But the One X is such a significant upgrade from both of these cameras that it leaves them with no unique selling points. There's no reason why you would choose either of these cameras if you have $400 to spend. I know I was very pro Insta360 One last year, but after the One X came out, it improved on this camera in every single way. If you already own this, it's still a good camera, don't get me wrong, but if you're looking to buy your next camera, then you will want to consider the other cameras on this list, specifically the One X. I hate to say it, but I'm putting both of these cameras on the meh list. Next up, we have the Gear 360 family, the 2016 and the 2017 cameras from Samsung. These were both great and industry leading when they came out, but in 2019, they have nothing over their competitors. Other than price, that is. I spotted these two on Amazon this morning for $76 and $59, which makes them among the cheapest 360 cameras money can buy. This is the only reason these cameras are still on this list. If you don't want to spend a lot, but you want to get a taste for 360, these are good basic cameras for a good basic 360 result. The 2016 is only compatible with Samsung phones, the 2017 is with Android and iPhone, but you will want to double check before you buy it. Next is the Yeet 360 VR, my old nemesis, and straight away the list I'm putting this on is the do not miss out on a great bargain. I looked on Amazon this morning and it was $183. Oh my god. Yeah, you heard right. $183 for a 5.7K camera. I've had my issues with the Yi in the past, the main one being it's not really compatible with Mac or iPhone, and I'm an Apple person, so this camera is unusable to me. But if you're on PC or you're on Android, you should absolutely consider this camera if your budget is under $200. The results you'll get are fine, not amazing. The dynamic range isn't good, the colors aren't great, but the sharpness is really good. It's got both high resolution photos and videos, so if you're one of those people that totally geeks out over resolution over everything else, then you should consider the Yi 360 VR. I'm putting this in the buy category for the moment. If it goes back up to its former price, which is $399, it's going back on the meh list. That's the thing with these cameras. If the price is right, then it can put some older cameras like this one back into contention as a serious camera to buy. Next is the Garmin Adjective. No, I'm just kidding, it's the Garmin Virb. And not a lot has changed with this camera since last time, including the price. This is still a $699 360 camera, and it just doesn't warrant buying it over the others. The only thing it has above all the other 360 cameras is its replaceable lenses. And don't get me wrong, replaceable lenses is a really good feature, but is it worth $700 for that? No, you may as well buy two cheaper cameras and risk one getting broken. If you take a lot of risks with your 360 camera, I would consider it since it's also shockproof, but otherwise I'm putting the Virb in the meh list. Next is another 360 camera with a funny name, and it's the Kandao Qoocam. I made a video called Why You Shouldn't Buy the Kandao Qoocam, but if you watched it, you'll see that's not really what I meant. I meant it was still early days, the camera had a lot of potential that it hadn't fulfilled yet, and I feel like it's come a long way in the last few months. Firstly, it's one of the only 360 cameras that doubles as a 180 camera. That's really cool, and when you take 180 photos and videos, it's really cool to watch them back, especially now that Facebook have introduced the 3D photo feature. You can now shoot photos on the Qoocam, upload them to Facebook, and they'll appear as 3D photos. When you watch back your 180s in a headset, this is where it really shines. You can see layers of depth within your photos and videos that are actually way more immersive than 360 photos and videos, because 360 only has one layer, whereas 180 has several layers of depth. So that's cool, and that's what I'd say the unique selling point of the Qoocam is. It also does potentially the best 360 video stabilization of any of these cameras, but not by much. They're all extremely good, and other cameras like the Rylo and the One X are maybe 1% less good than the Qoocam, so that's not really a deciding factor. The 360 photos and videos that come from it are good. They're not outstanding, but they're good enough for social media. Now that they've added DNG RAW to the Qoocam, I'd say it probably has the best DNG RAW of any 360 camera. A lot of them do it now, but personally I noticed from playing around in Photoshop, I could recover so much more detail with Qoocam DNGs than I could with any other camera. Did I mention it has a 3-hour battery life? That's really impressive since the average 360 camera battery lasts about an hour. Should you buy the Qoocam? Yeah, if you want to shoot 180, you want to shoot DNG RAW, and you need a camera with a really long battery life, then you should seriously consider this camera. Exterminate, exterminate. The next camera is the Ultracker Aleta S2C. And you're probably thinking, What the hell did he just say? Yes, this is a camera that not too many people know about, including myself. I can admit I have not turned this camera on yet because I just got it in the mail, but that is my goal for early 2019. Why is this camera special though? Is it because it looks like a spaceship? No, this camera is special because it shoots 66 megapixel 360 photos. Yes, you heard that right, 66 megapixel 360 photos. The next highest we've seen from a consumer 360 camera has been 30 megapixels. That's more than double the resolution. From the samples I've seen, the sharpness looks really good, and I feel like this camera is the halfway point between a point and shoot 360 camera and shooting 360s with DSLR. I've got to say the exposure balance wasn't great from those samples, but maybe those just weren't taken with optimal settings. It does have inbuilt HDR and inbuilt stitching, but at a $999 price point, I would say wait until I get a proper video out before you go ahead and buy the Ultracker Aleta S2C. Another shout out real quick to a camera that has just been released that I haven't gotten my hands on yet, and that's the Vuze XR. This is a 5.7K 360 video camera that also doubles as a 180 camera, so this could very well give the Kandao Qoocam a run for its money. I can't say too much yet because I haven't used it, but it's $439. Stay tuned because I will have videos coming out later in January that cover the Vuze XR. Next camera on the list is the Theta V, and straight away I'm putting the Theta V in the do not buy category.
What?
Mr. Ben, I watched your videos and you told me to buy the Theta V, and now you say this?
I know, that's a pretty bold call, isn't it? Well, here's the reason. I have a sneaking suspicion that Ricoh will be releasing a new camera soon. Late last year we saw Insta360 release their new camera, and we all expected something new from Ricoh, and we didn't get anything. Normally 2 months, 3 months before Christmas is the time that they all release new cameras, and we heard nothing. So Ricoh are definitely due for a new camera. I can't say when, I have no idea when, but I'm pretty certain it is going to happen soon-ish. And the Theta V is a good camera. I've always been a fan of it, but if you're looking to buy your next camera, you shouldn't buy it because no doubt Ricoh will be working on the next generation camera, and it's worth waiting that extra little bit so you can get the latest and greatest Theta camera. I just started a rumor. A 360 rumor. Next are the twins, the MiSphere and the MadVenture 360 camera. And you know what? I'm getting sick of sticking up for the MadVenture 360. It was supposed to be different to the MiSphere. They were supposed to add all these great features, but they haven't. It's just an orange MiSphere. There, I said it. But not just an orange MiSphere. An orange MiSphere at $310. When the MiSphere is at $222. Why would you pay more? It makes no sense. Yes, it might come with a few more accessories in the box, but is that really worth almost $100? No. Therefore, I'm putting the MadVenture 360 in the do not buy category. Because of the much cheaper price, the MiSphere is the obvious choice of these two cameras, but why should you buy the MiSphere? Yes, it has been outdone by the One X in basically every way, but I still do consider it very much a relevant camera in 2019. This is firstly for its all-around ability with both photos and videos. There's so much you can do with this camera in both areas. It shoots amazing 360 photos with very good resolution, and the 360 videos are also really good. It actually has a lot going for it. Check out my MiSphere review if you haven't seen it already to see everything, but the reason it's still here and the reason I'm putting it in the buy category is the price. If you're someone with only $220 to spend and you want a good result for your 360 photos and videos, then the MiSphere is the obvious option. It's definitely not as good as the One X, but I'd say it's 2/3 as good for half the price. So if you can't afford the $399 price tag of the One X, then you will want to consider the MiSphere because it's still the best and most versatile 360 camera under $300. Next we have this little camera, the Rylo, which was groundbreaking when it came out for its amazing 6-axis stabilization. It was the best at the time and totally blew all the other cameras out of the water. In early 2018, its draw cards were its stabilization, hyperlapses, and reframing, and over the course of the year, Insta360 copied everything. Not only did they get their stabilization as good as the Rylo, but they added the hyperlapse effect to the One X app, and the reframing in the app is now better than Rylo's. And look, they have been working on the Rylo in the past year. They've added features like 5.8K video up from 4K. They've added a desktop app and they've fixed a few of their workflow issues, but I just can't think of why you would buy the Rylo over the Insta360 One X. It's better in basically no ways. So I'm sorry to say it, Rylo, but Insta360 took all of your best features and you're left with nothing. And by nothing, I mean it's still got lots of good features, but if you're buying a camera for the first time, the One X has everything over the Rylo. Last but not least, it's One X's biggest competitor, the GoPro Fusion. The Fusion was the winner last time I made this video, but due to GoPro not doing too well as a company, they haven't updated the firmware, the software, the app, nothing. And that's okay because it was a really good camera already, so that wasn't something that had to happen. But I guess we're just kind of getting used to having all of these updates all the time with most other 360 cameras, and we're not going to get them anymore from GoPro because it seems like they've given up their 360 pursuits for now. So I'm not expecting a Fusion 2, and I'm not expecting any future updates on the Fusion. The good is the Fusion shoots amazing 360 photos and 360 videos. They're absolutely incredible. Even today in 2019, the 360 video from the Fusion absolutely blows me away. The dynamic range is so good, it looks really sharp, and the image is just beautiful. What's not good is the workflow. This has always been its biggest flaw, and it's never been fixed. It's always been hard to edit your photos on your phone, and that's just a basic thing for 360 cameras, having the ability to download to your phone and edit your 360 photos. You can't do that with the Fusion, even a year after it's been released. We did see an update to Fusion Studio, which is a desktop app, a few months ago, but it didn't really fix the bigger problems people were having, which is footage taking days to render and stitch and export, the software constantly crashing even on fast computers, as well as the file sizes being ginormous. That made creating these beautiful 360 videos kinda hard to do, almost impossible for a lot of people. You really need a minimum of 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 4 gigabyte graphics card to make this camera workable, and not many people have those specs. I even upgraded my computer to quadruple that, and I still had a few issues. So for me, that means the Fusion workflow takes a minimum of an hour to even do a basic video, and I don't have an hour free. I'm a busy guy. So as a result, I just haven't used the Fusion in the past few months. Once I discovered the One X and how fast the workflow can be, I fell in love, and any workflow longer than 10 minutes made me feel like I was really wasting my time. So while I think the Fusion does produce an exceptional result, you need a fast computer to work with it. If you don't have that, don't bother. I'm putting the GoPro Fusion on the cameras you should consider list. Man, the One X is a real jerk. It's basically taken all of the best features of 2018's best cameras and combined them into one perfect camera. Now, I don't work for Insta360 and I'm not being paid to say this, but none of us expected this, that one camera would make all these other cameras unnecessary. Since I got it a few months ago, I haven't used any of these cameras. Be gone with you. Yeah, that's better. So this is the front runner in early 2019. No doubt this hierarchy will change as the year progresses, so definitely hit that subscribe button if you want to find out about all the latest and greatest 360 cameras that 2019 has to offer. Also do check out my full reviews of all the cameras you've seen today if any of them piqued your interest and you want to learn more. Also, I'd be keen to know what is your favorite 360 camera in early 2019 and why. Leave a comment down there and let me know. Also, I want to let you guys know my 360 video course is on sale right now, so you can find a link to that down in the description. That's it from me. I hope you have a happy new year and capture your world in 360 in 2019, and I'll see you in the next video.